Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming here to learn more about the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce and what we do and how to make the most of membership and your community experience. I'm going to take you through a whole bunch of stuff, including how to use Circle so that you can get deeper in that and kind of take advantage of all the benefits and tools that Circle has. And I'm going to tell you about what we do here, about our advocacy, and really, why we exist. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jenna Cloughley. I am the Director of Membership and Community here at the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce. My pronouns are she, her, and I live and work on the unceded and unsurrendered lands of the Anishnabeg, the Cree, the Ojibwe Cree, the Dakota, and the Dene peoples, and home to the Métis Nation, which is covered in Treaty 1, colonially known as Winnipeg, Manitoba. Welcome. Welcome to this call. I'm so glad that you're here today so I can answer any of your questions and tell you more about what we do. And I just want to say congratulations on starting a business and doing the work to grow your business and follow your dreams and become a business owner, because this world is not set up for us to be business owners. And that is the primary reason why the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce exists. And we recognize that you starting a business is an act of advocacy in the face of all those challenges. And we hope that on your journey through entrepreneurship, the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce can be a landing place for you to continue being in community and find resources that you need to grow your business and a community of like-minded business owners. So let me tell you a little bit about the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce. So the Chamber of Commerce, or CanWCC, as we call it for short, is a national nonprofit and the first and only chamber of commerce for women and gender diverse business owners in Canada. And as a Chamber of Commerce, our title gives us access to the people who impact change. And we represent the over 1 million entrepreneurial women and gender diverse people, and we advocate to the federal government on behalf of them. And that's why I host these calls. That's why we are always encouraging you to become a member, because the more of us there are, the harder we are to ignore, okay? The more people we can report to the government, this many people are in our membership and support our advocacy objectives and want to see the changes that we want to see, the farther it will go. And then the more you get involved in the advocacy objectives that we put in front of you, the farther it will go. So earlier this year, I put federal budget consultation opportunities into the Circle so that you could take advantage of that and have your say with the federal government. It was a short survey, took no more than 5 minutes, but it did leave blank spaces where you could say, out of everything you've said here, I actually want this instead. And taking those kinds of steps are the kinds of advocacy we need to support self-employed business owners in Canada. So our advocacy is driven by a clear conviction that economic equity is a human right. So our work addresses the systemic barriers that women and gender diverse entrepreneurs face in accessing capital to sustain and grow their businesses. So what does that mean? What is it that we're trying to do? We are trying to dismantle the structural, cultural, social, and economic barriers which limit the ability of women and gender diverse entrepreneurs to equally participate in business. And our advocacy is integrated into everything that we do. Okay, it's in the Circle. You see all the work we're doing in the Circle. We ask you questions. We have surveys we send out. When we ask you to fill out your profile, we're asking you to fill out your profile so we understand you and the business that you own. So when we're advocating for you, we can say, this is the types of businesses that are out there. These are the businesses that are in the economy that we need to be supporting. So every little thing like that, every survey we send out, attending our fall town halls, these are all ways that we listen to you and we get the answers from you to build out these advocacy strategies. And, first and foremost, we ask the questions and we listen to you. And we believe that this advocacy shouldn't come with a price. That's why we do have our free community where you can access our advocacy objectives. You can see the work we're doing. You can get involved. You can attend the town halls and in the community events, right? We don't want there to be a barrier for access, because we know that access to capital is already a barrier for women identified and gender diverse business owners. So we also have our equity pricing model where you can choose the amount that you can pay for your business. And then you can also pay it forward for another member. If you're in a position to do that, you can pick that membership and pay it forward. We also have our lifetime membership, which is a one-time payment of $990. That's it for life. You can write that off on your taxes this year. And all of these different levels are all the same access. They're just making sure that you have the ability to participate at the level that works for you. And we're the first and only chamber to offer that equity pricing model. So it's unique to us, and it really speaks to our inclusion mandate. So this is some of our advocacy work. I'm going to talk about a little bit about what we've done in the past, and then I'm going to tell you what we're doing in 2025. So in 2023, we launched the Economic Equity Alliance. We brought a group of people together from across the ecosystem that all served entrepreneurs, and we did a massive study with them on what were the gaps in funding and resources for self-employed people in Canada. And what was a result, or what resulted out of that, is the report, the Invisible Entrepreneurs Report, which I'll dive into a little bit as I speak more about this year's advocacy. In 2023, we did a BDC legislative review. Now, who here has ever done a legislative review? Raise your hand if you've done a legislative review. I'm looking at all of you. Oh, Marilyn. Yes, Marilyn. High five. Okay, I know, like what, where do you do it? How do you do it? Why do you do it? So we sat down with our members at one of our town halls, because the BDC is the Business Development Bank of Canada. They are a crown corporation designed to fund innovation and businesses in Canada. And so one of their programs is for women to get funding and loans, right? So it is imperative that we weigh in on what this bank does and how it executes its funding. So we sat down with our members at a town hall. We talked through the legislative review. We showed them the form on the BDC website that they could fill out. And we asked them what they were looking for. What would your answer to this question be? What would your answer to this question be? And you can see that recording that is up in our library and toolbox. And then from there, we built our own legislative review that we supplied to the BDC as well. So all of us were in there contributing our thoughts and our words and what we wanted to see changed with the Business Development Bank of Canada. And we were happy to see that everything that the chamber submitted on our list that we heard from our members in our community was incorporated into what they're doing in the future with the Business Development Bank of Canada. And you might have seen that the Business Development Bank of Canada just released a new program to fund women business owners taking over existing businesses. They've launched a whole new program where they're giving loans and programming for women who want to take over existing businesses. So they heard us, they listened, and they're funding some opportunities. So we also advocated for the subsidized childcare program in Canada. That was a very important thing for us. We're happy to see it roll out, although not completely, not everybody can take advantage of it, but it was a move in the right direction. And now in 2025, what we're looking for is a new child income support plan separate from EI. So right now, if you have a child, your benefits are tied to EI, even from the federal government. Any maternity support or paternity support is tied to EI. So if you are self-employed, you are not paying into that program. Therefore, you cannot access those benefits. So we are asking for that to be separate so that all Canadians can take advantage of that program, whether they're self-employed or employed by somebody else. And there's more about that on our website as well. We also have a policy paper up on that one as well, what the benefits are and what the economic growth would be with something like this in place in Canada. We're also looking for a refundable tax credit for diversity related expenses. So what this is primarily is supply chains. We are paying thousands of dollars every year to be in diversity supply chains that sometimes do not result in any return on investment. And you're paying those annually, right, to continue to be in those supplier diversity programs. So we're looking for that to be a refundable tax credit when you file your taxes every year. And the last one is policy support for self-employed people. So that is a direct result of our Invisible Entrepreneurs report that we did. What we found out was very important. And we found out that 10% of business owners were being missed by government. Oh, sorry, I lost my screens. Were being missed by government programs and services. And so I'm just opening the website here because I want to share a couple of the statistics on this. So 10% of the Canadian workforce, Canadian labor force, are self-employed. 80% of those self-employed people are 80% of women entrepreneurs are self-employed. 50% of Black and 68% of Indigenous entrepreneurs are also self-employed. And 25% of all self-employed individuals are people of color, and 18% live in rural Canada. So these are the demographics that are being missed by government programs. So an example of this is that a government program that was executed that we all heard about was the Canadian Digital Adoption Plan, or CDAP. You would have heard about this about 2 years ago. It would have been in every business newsletter you would have gotten, asking you to apply for the CDAP program. You find a marketing partner who can build your website, and they get the funding from the federal government to do that program for you. However, you had to have one employee. So the organizations that needed this help couldn't access it. And the businesses that could access it didn't need it because they had employees and they already had a website. They already had everything going. They had their online store and everything, right? Like, you can't get the employees if you don't have your online store. So this program was a flop across Canada. It really did not work the way that the government wanted it to, and it ended early. But these are the considerations we want the federal government to have, thinking about self-employed people who do not have employees. How do we get these programs to them? The recommendations for this are on our website under the advocacy link. You can go there and check that out. You can see the Invisible Entrepreneurs Report that kind of cites everything that we found out from this research that we did in 2023 and how it shaped our advocacy this year and moving forward as well for the next 3 years. So let's talk about what we're all here to talk about, our membership. Yay. So our members are diverse women or gender diverse entrepreneurs in startups to large companies. So it really runs the gamut of who is in our membership. The objective is that your business is at least 50% women owned and women led, or gender diverse owned and gender diverse led. And it really runs the gamut of who is in our membership. So we have a lot of tech developers, we have many artists, we have people who are registered businesses and people who are just self-employed, just filing their taxes as a self-employed individual. We have financial advisors, healthcare professionals, food entrepreneurs. We have financial advisors. Some people are self-employed. Some people have 1 or 2 staff. We have virtual assistants. Anyone you want to meet is really inside of our membership running a business similar to you. Okay, so inside of our membership, we have many benefits that you can take advantage of. So the first is community and connection. So you can meet hundreds of like-minded business owners across the country inside of the Circle platform. We host our networking events where you can connect directly. And our platform is really alive. All of you make it alive. There are new posts every day, people introducing themselves, sharing events that you might be interested in, posting resources. It really is a vibrant space. And one of the great things about Circle is it can act like social media, but it is not being fed by other people. It's not being fed by an algorithm. It's being fed by you. What you post, what you like, what you put a heart on, that comes up on the top of the feed so other people can see that these are conversations that are important that people are engaging in. So it's a great platform. Circle is we found it a really robust platform for people to connect on. And we also connect you with the business resources that you need to grow. We have a funding and resource section that I'll show you today where we find grants or programming opportunities or awards or, the things you want to know about for yourself and your business that you can apply for. We put the deadlines on there and the details on the applications and what you need and who it's for. And this is a list that goes back for probably about 3 years. So one of the great things about this is you can always search for what you need and then see if that program is now reopened. What were the dates of the last one? When will it be open again? So there's a lot of information in one spot for you to be able to find programming, resources, and support that really works for you. And as you all know, we host live events. You get to see me almost every week if you want to in the Circle, and I get to see you. We have our networking, which is super popular. It's a curated networking. And I think everybody here has been to networking. Yes. Anybody? No, not been to networking yet, Marilyn? Okay. And Kristen? Okay, well, you're going to have to come because it's super fun and it's pretty high energy, and we don't record it. And you go into breakout rooms where you never meet the same people twice. So you're in your breakout room for 10 minutes. You get to connect on the topic that we're talking about. It's hosted by a CanWCC business member. That's one of the benefits of membership, is that you get to host events with us. We promote them and we bring people to your events, which I'll get into as well. But the networking is just super fun. And Lise and I have a really good time hosting that and bringing you together. And then we also have business workshops. We have our tax workshops coming up, and we also host our town hall meetings. And I talked a little bit about business promotion, but that's a big thing that we also do for our members. So our members also get listed in our CanWCC business member directory in Circle, which is public. That is something that if you were searching on Google, you could be redirected to that. It is visible whether you're logged in or logged out of Circle. So our business members can promote themselves and their businesses through that directory. You also get a CanWCC member badge for yourself and your website that states the date you joined. You get to host our events that we were talking about. We also promote you on social media. We promote our members all the time on our social media channel and try to connect them with other people. And in our newsletters as well. So the other opportunity that we have for membership is, I talked about this a little bit, funding and savings. I talked about the funding and resources list, but we also have over $10,000 in discounts from trusted partners who work with the Chamber of Commerce. Several of them are members, like Consulta, Flourish Marketing, Engaged Thinking. So these are programs and services that our members offer that give you a deep discount on them, like AJT Communications is a communications firm. They can do your PR for you at a severely discounted rate, or they can teach you how to do PR in their courses at a severely discounted rate. So if you are looking for PR support or to get into media exposure, AJT Communications is a great one to deal with. And she is actually a former journalist. So she knows how to get to journalists and like what they're looking for and what conversations that they want to have. And she has a whole repertoire of journalists. And she also hosted a webinar with us. So if you go back to our library and toolbox, or even our YouTube channel, you can see this webinar that she hosted where Aaliyah talked about what's possible inside of accessing PR and how to get yourself ready to take on PR opportunities. For Zoom, we execute the Zoom enterprise license. So you buy it from us at a discounted rate, and I think it's $300 annually. So I have one for myself because I use Zoom for my personal and my business. And so you get the full range of Zoom opportunities. Like you can host conferences, you can have up to 1,000 people in a room, you can record as much as you want, and like ample storage. Like it's an enterprise license that we share as part of our bigger Zoom account. We have a trusted partner program that you apply for, and then we make sure that the offer would work for our members, that you have guidelines that you operate by, that you fit our advocacy objectives and you understand them, and you kind of you're aligned with that, so that our members know they're choosing a business to work with that is like-minded and believes in the same things they do, so they're supporting the community. So there's an application period that opens every year in the early January, February, March-ish. It'll open, and then we confirm them, and then they run again until the end of March. So these current ones that are up will run until the end of March. Just another opportunity to help you promote yourself with inside Circle and offer your products, right? Moving on. I'm sure everybody's heard about this. Tanya's definitely heard about this, but we launched Chords this year, which is curated small group networking. So we do our big networking. We generally get like 50 to 60 people out at our big networking, and then we put them in small breakout groups, and that's like you get 10 minutes with each other. But this program is designed for you to build strong connections inside of CanWCC business membership. So Chords is a member-led program. So Tanya has started a chord, and she has recruited 5 members to participate in her chord. Tanya, what's the name of your chord?
Networking for Introverts 101.
Yes. So they're going to meet monthly and practice networking, right? And talking about your experiences. Yeah. And so we provide them with a space and circle where all the people who have signed up for her cord will be. They get a Zoom link from us that they can meet on at any time. So if they're going to meet once a month, they'll use that Zoom link once a month and everybody knows. And then they have a message board in there so they can talk to each other and they can communicate what's going on in the cord or when's the next time they're going to meet or what they're working on. So really to get connected closer with people where you're facilitating something that you want to talk about. We have one on perimenopause unmuted. We have about 10 right now. We have a collective impact group where they're working together to build collective impact opportunities and apply for grants together. We have accountability groups where people are going to meet every Friday to talk about what they got done that week and what they're doing next week. And then there's another one that's a more structured accountability program where they meet twice a week and they talk about what they're going to do and then meet for co-working in the middle of the week and at the end of the week catch up on everything. So many different. There's one for moms of toddlers and babies that are working that want to get together and just have a coffee and talk about it. There's so many cords listed in our member area, and I'll also show you that. And they start October 10th, and so literally tomorrow is the application deadline. So if you want to be in a cord, if you're a member and you want to be in a cord, you got to tell them like today or tomorrow so you can get into this cord, because we start on October 10th. And then this cord cycle will run for 4 months, and we'll do a second cycle starting in February of next year. So next year applications will open in February. You can join another cord, and then that will run for 4 months from March until June. And every year we kind of slow our programming down in July and August because we got kids at home. We got people we need to deal with. You know, summertime's pretty busy. We're trying to get our businesses going still. So we kind of slow down our programming at that point in time so you're not overwhelmed. Okay, member hosted events. This is like an example of the kind of promotion we do for you. So we make banners, we put the events up in circle, we promote them on social media, we talk about you and your business in those posts with links to your work. And then we edit the recording and we put it up on our YouTube channel. So you have the Chamber of Commerce branding and stamp on a webinar about you and your business that you can put on your website and share anywhere you want. And your event can be about anything. And this is just a really good example of the different types of webinars we had. We had one on financial literacy called The Starting Point with Christine Bees of Untangle Money. We had one with Andrea Cox, and we talked about end of life planning. And then we had another one with Helen Tremethick on sustainability as bullshit, which was really about how all the terms and lingo just gets in your head. And really, you're probably running a sustainable business anyways. And so her webinar was all about that. And that's all of these recordings are also up in our library and toolbox if you want to see what a webinar looks like. But we're also hosting one coming up in a couple of days. And then we host other live events. So last year we did Financially Literate AF, a little one-day conference where we talked about financial literacy and had several of our members and community talk about financial literacy and financial programs. Like we talked about ROSCAs, rotating savings and credit associations, which are very popular with the global majority. And it's a way to exchange money in a group and help each other out, right? We also have our wonderful CRA liaisons that we work with that come and do our Filing Your Business Taxes webinars, which are not recorded. They are private conversations where we ask all those questions we want to ask about filing our taxes. So the first one is T1, self-employment. And then the second one we host for members only is a T2, so for incorporated businesses, but it also applies to self-employed people. And you can ask any question like, how do I write my gas off? And how much of my car can I write off? And what about my office space? And what line item do I put childcare on? Right? Like these are the kinds of questions you can ask, and they just help you out, and it's confidential. And then we host other events that are just, kind of advocacy related or important to the topics at hand. So earlier this year, we hosted Beyond Borders, Fighting for Rights in a Shifting World, which was, just after Trump was elected and a lot of policies started to get changed, and everybody's worried about like, what does this mean for the rest of us? And so this was a great conversation, again, recorded up on our website. Up in Circle and up on our YouTube channel. And these are some of our upcoming events. So they're all in our community events section. Period Power. That one sounds really exciting. I'm going to that one. Designing a business that honors your cycle and your team. We have our fall town hall coming up. New government, new economy, same old, same old. We're going to see on November 4th, aren't we? We're going to see what the new is that we're doing here. We also have our 5 foundations of business operations in November. And as always, we have our monthly networking opportunities. And we also have health benefits. So this is a really unique program where it acts like a group benefit. So there's no medical check to get in. So as long as you are a member of CanWCC, either one of our business members, or you can join our Community Plus program, which gives you access to this. You use that receipt to send off to the group benefits company, and they can get you in our group benefits plan. And we just had a webinar 2 days ago on this, and it was just so great. It broke down everything, like who is recognized as a dependent. We have plans for up to 69 and then 70 and above. So doesn't matter what age group you're in, you can take advantage of these health benefits. Really affordable monthly pricing. You can choose the amounts from like 70, 80, and 90% coverage, and a good health spending plan. So if things don't fit in there, there's health spending. And we also found out there's telehealth, full telehealth, and no hourly limit on the amount of telehealth you can use. They can make recommendations for you, send you out for, blood work and things like that. Like they can act as that kind of doctor that you might need if you're rural. So really good. It was a really great benefits plan. I was like, this sounds incredible. So the recording will be up in Circle probably in the next week or so. I can dive into this, but our members generally join for our advocacy and then stay for our community. These are several of the members that you can meet inside the Circle who have left us testimonials, and they just appreciate what we do, and they think everybody's great here. We have a vibrant community of people who are engaged and share their wins and talk to each other and support each other. And that's really what we're looking for. Okay, now I'm going to dive into the meat. I'm going to give you a tour of Circle and kind of show you how to use Circle. So I'm going to expand my screen. Okay, so when you get into Circle, as I mentioned, Circle, there's many circles. As you can see down the side here in my screen, I am in other Circle platforms. So they show up on my side here. And you always use the same email address. So the email address you use to sign up for membership or your community account, if you are already in another Circle, you should use the same email address. But then you have everything in one place. So you can easily switch beside other communities that you're in. If you're brand new here in the community, you should really start at this section, new to CanWCC community, start here. We've got stuff on introducing yourself, how, what are the things you should do right away? How do you get to know people around here? You can customize your notifications. So if you don't want to get emails about every event, you can change that. If you want to get emails, if you would rather not get in-app notifications, if you use the Circle app on your phone or on your iPad, you can customize the notifications over there. So not popping up all the time with like a big button of 100 and you're like, so it's really customizable. And the way you fix your notifications is you just click on your profile and then click notifications. And then you can turn things on and off, whatever you want to get. Do you want to get the weekly digest? We don't send that out anymore. But if you want to know if people like your posts and you want to get that via email, you can click on that one. If you want to know if people are liking comments you leave, right? So you can customize what you are getting notified of and then just save changes right there. So all of that is in here. So really dive in here. We also have our community values and guidelines. One of the most important things is to check out our code of conduct and anti-harassment policy. If anything happens in Circle, we have a facilitator who will help you work it out or find a solution for you so that you're not dealing with our staff. We have a whole, like a team that deals with this for our members because we're really committed to you guys being connected and having great relationships. So take a look at this so you understand, how we operate and what we want to see in this community and what we stand for and how to report. any incidences. It's all in here. And then we also have our community values and guidelines. So community and connection, what that means to us, collaboration, what that means to us, and change. What are we looking for when we talk about that stuff? So a great place to start. We want to talk about, the Feminist Enterprise Commons. So this is a section down here. If you are not a member, you will see a lock screen for this. But this is, again, a choose what you pay membership. And the Feminist Enterprise Commons is developed for women running feminist enterprises to have these important conversations. They have events coming up that what are called the Wyatt, working it out together. And we just come and we bring the topics that are on our head right now, that are bothering us, impacting our business. A lot of it is policy change coming out of the US. And we sit in a group and we talk about it. And PK Much facilitates this conversation, and she helps us kind of like come to an issue that, or a topic that kind of works for everybody. So this is another choose what you pay membership. If you want to be in the Feminist Enterprise Commons and you're not already in it, when you click this, you will see a lock screen. And in that lock screen, you can purchase your choose what you pay membership to join the Feminist Enterprise Commons. And then you'll automatically get access in Circle. So I talked about our business membership. We have this same kind of guide here for our members to take advantage of their membership. So we have our details on how do you get to host a webinar or one of our networking events. Well, there's a whole section on that so that you can read about it and figure out, okay, when is this open? How can I get into this? How can I use my member badge, right? It's all in one place for you. We also have our member announcements. This is where we post news and resources that you might need, or members post for each other. And this is the one I was talking about, the funding and resources. So there's so much stuff in here, but like things like this, apply for the BAMP Spark Accelerator, right? So if you're in the media business, this closes October 2nd. The link to apply is right here. It has all the details on who can apply and what they're looking for. You can comment on it, right? You can save it. There's also, we put the forum in here. So this is another program that's presented for women entrepreneurs. And so you can claim your spot here and get into the forum. The deadline is October 30th. We have Journalism Futures Fund, right? Some people might be in journalism. So there's opportunities here to get access to capital, to do journalism, AI training grants, which was posted by another member. And we try to put down the side here under upcoming opportunities, things that haven't closed yet, right? So this is happening here in Manitoba, the DARE Innovation Awards, and all the award categories are in here. So you can, if you're in Manitoba, you can apply for one of these awards or nominate somebody. But we try to put all the deadlines over here so you can see, okay, can I still get into that one? Well, that one closed yesterday, but you can check the ones that are relevant clearly right over here. The startup, this is another one, Equal Slice Virtual Pitch Competition. So this is an opportunity if you want to dive in here. And then we also have our CanWCC business member directory. So this is what I talked about earlier about why it's important to complete your profile, because your profile as a business member is public. People can see it. They can click on your profile. They can find out more about you and what you do, right? They can see all the details. They can find your link and they can go to your website. Your key product is virtual services, right? So there's lots of spaces in here for you to promote yourself and promote your business. And if you want to find someone in CanWCC, you can search. So there's all these options near me. These are the people that are in the Winnipeg area near me. I could search for, maybe I can add any filter, like where are they? What's their closest city? So let's put Toronto. And these are all the members whose closest city is Toronto. So if I want to find them and reach out to them, I can do that as well. And you can do that with all the people in Circle as well. So you can find, this is just the business member directory, but there are other directories when you get into the people. You can search up here. So you can search for people like I want to find marketers, marketing. And if I hit search, it's going to tell me all the members over here that have something to do with marketing. so I can connect with them, send them a message, right? I could search anything, funding, I could search grant writing, I could search childcare, and find everything that has to do with that in the circle, find the members, find any messages about it in my own messages, and any posts or comments.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I just, in terms of the notifications, I've noticed that I'm getting a lot of emails, and I know you said we could tailor them, but I noticed that there's a lot of live or in-person events that are in provinces that I don't live in. So I wondered if there's actually a way to um, tailor that down to location.
So it's in a space, it's either on or off. So if you
Right.
go into the space, like I think what you're talking about is other events of interest where people just put a post up and they don't post an event. So that is where we give them a space to kind of write that stuff. And you can just turn off the notifications. However, you can come in here and you can search. Again, search your city, search your province, and then see all the things that are happening. Where are you from, Marilyn?
Victoria.
Victoria, great. So you can come in there and you can search Victoria. You can see
Okay.
anything that's coming up in Victoria or any people in Victoria. So you can use that search function to kind of narrow that down. But in terms of notifications, there you can do it by space as well. So you can go into a space. I'll show you that as well. So
Okay.
I can go into, the introduce yourself space. And then you have these 3 dots over here. I have more settings than you have, but you will see my post notifications down here. So you can say, I want email notifications for introduce yourself, or I don't. And I don't want them in app, and I don't want them to pop up on my phone either. So you can set this for yourself. Which do you want for that space? So I have more options. You guys can't update the cover, unfortunately, or add a paywall, but I can. But you can definitely update these notifications here for just a certain space. So if you don't want other events of interest to come to your inbox every time someone posts, like the promote yourself section. So this section we created so that you can post as much as you want about promoting your business, because we turned off all the notifications. So if you want to know about that space, you have to go in and purposely turn on your notifications, and we can see it so that we could feature it if we wanted to, right? So those kinds of things, the notifications are turned off. But for members, I have notifications. I have purposely turned on people's notifications for things like ask, give, member connections, share your wins, and find your cord. I want people to see these inbox emails, right? And also member hosted events. This is another opportunity for our members. They can post events in here that for them and their business. Like as a business member, if you're hosting a webinar or you found a webinar you like and you want to share it with the rest of membership, you can post an event in here. You just click new event and you do your own thing. So these are some of the ones that were posted before. Like we just had this one in September with Karen Wenders. And she wrote to me afterwards and was just so grateful that these members came, because she had 20 people at her webinar. And one of the members said, you know what, I got to connect you with someone, and connected her to a group of engineers that she now got a contract with. I was like, this is what it's all about. Okay. So like, if you have things like this, you're doing your own webinar, you're hosting another event somewhere else, and you want us to come and cheer you on, post it in here. We'll come and cheer you on. Marilyn, did that answer your question? Kind of.
It did actually. What was good was I did see something that came up for Victoria without being able to specify it. It's actually tonight, so I'm going tonight. So I'm looking forward to meeting other women, obviously, that are connected through the circle. It's on financial. It has to do with some financial topic. But anyways, I'm looking forward to going to an in-person event where I can meet other members. So it worked out well that way. So
yeah, is that in other events of interest that you found that?
I think so. Let me just look. I know that they sent me an update for tonight on.
Is it this one? I can't remember where.
Oh, it's called Rewrite the Rules, Women, Worth, and Wealth. And it's tonight in Langford, hosted by Brittany, who's with Creative Dynamics Virtual Services, if that makes sense. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Well, there you go. So yes, that's great. I'm so glad about that. Last thing I'm going to show you about for our members is our Find Your Court space. So if you are a CanWCC business member or you're thinking about joining today, I've put up all the pitches from our hosts. That's a quick 10-minute video. You can see all them pitch to you, their chord, and then all the chords are down here, right? So ideas that people have had. So Quinn is still looking for some people to join their group. Isabel already submitted, but can accept more people. So Tanya, I think you submitted yours. Yep, Tanya submitted hers, and I know that Louise submitted hers as well, but they are looking for new members. So if any of these are of interest to you, you can come in and connect with them and say, hey, I still want to be in your court, and they can update me and I can add them in because I can have up to 10 people. Oh, I wanted to show you some of the discounts we have. So we have our trusted partner discounts, AJT, Consulta, Flourish. We have our Canadian co-working discounts. So you can find places to go co-work and get a discount at. And we also have our community discounts here that are available to you right now. So QuickBooks is available, Zoom is available, Owner and Willful. These are all available for you to use right now. I told you how you can search for people. You can search for occupation. That's a great way to connect if you want to find people like who are also coaches. You can go search that and you can find coaches. If you want to find people in your area, you can connect with them and say, hey, you want to meet up? You want to go out for coffee? Like I work from home all by myself on my computer all day, and I would like to meet you and hang out and have a coffee, right? Like so many opportunities there. Let me go back to my presentation. We'll zip through it. I told you a little bit about the Feminist Enterprise Commons. Honestly, if you want to have radical conversations, this is the place. The CanWCC team goes to this because we love the conversations, and it just is, it kind of juices you up. After things get really hard, just really juices you up. So it's a great conversation. And it's a choose what you pay membership. And again, these are our plans that you can join us. If you're not yet a business member, you can become a member for $99, or you can choose our equity pricing program. It's all up on our canwcc.ca join page. Everything you need to join is there. You can also join Community Plus if you want to get our health benefits. That's the key thing about Community Plus is you get the community free section, but you also get access to those health benefits. And that again is a group benefit plan. You're able to join it because you have a receipt with us, because you are in our group, and then you send that off to the insurance company and you can get into our group plan with no medical. All right. So that's why there's a fee attached to that, because you have to be part of our organization. And then we also have our free community. Anyone, any gender can join our free community if they support the advocacy and mission of the organization. And they don't get access to everything, but they get access to some of the community that I showed you. Okay. I did it. I did it, everybody. I went through it all over again. You now know everything I know. Maybe not. I do know a lot about Circle. So, but you know, everything I know about accessing Circle, how to engage with each other. You know, I send you DMs, right? So you can do that with other people. Is the health insurance just for us if we're founders of an org, for example? No, you can add employees. So you buy the membership, right? And then you can talk to the health source benefits company. And they will advise you. They'll be like, oh, you want to bring employees on? This is how you do that. And blah, 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 blah. So your employees might have to, or you might have to buy the $25 membership for each employee, but then you can get into a group benefits plan that does support your employees as well. So talk to them. They do have that available. No minimum amount of employees. No. And no minimum amount of beneficiaries or maximum amount of beneficiaries. And there's even beneficiary, like if you have a disabled child, they'll cover your child through adulthood as well. So there's like, what we heard yesterday was just like, the recording will be out shortly and you'll see all the details on that, but it is just a really great program. It supports you. And if you have employees, it will support you and your employees as well. So there's lots of options inside of this group we're working with. And we also heard like this person, the person who really worked on this, Ken Duty, he is an entrepreneur and he just wanted to make a program that was available for entrepreneurs as they grow their business. And so he needed a partner. And that's where Nancy Wilson, our CEO and founder, came in. They worked together to build this program out and develop a way to like, how do we make this available for self-employed people? And so, yeah. Check it out. That's it. That's all I want to tell you, but I'd love to have you join us. Okay. So I told you that I do have a little discount code for you. So if you want to join us, you can use the code welcome to CanWCC, save 20% off your annual membership. So that's the standard price of $99. And we'd love to have you join us. Again, the more of us there are, the harder we are to ignore. Our advocacy. Well, I showed you all this fun stuff. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can look at your faces. I showed you all this fun stuff that we can do in Circle, how we can connect. But it's our advocacy that brings us together. That is what makes us different from every other chamber of commerce. Why join us? And, and also join your city one or your provincial one. But why join us is because that's what we stand for. That's what we're advocating for. You can count on us to be at the table and be saying the things that not everybody says and asking for the support that we need to be able to grow our business. So I hope you join us.
It's not really a question, but I just thought I'd add on to what Jenna was saying about the health benefits plan, because I sat in on that session on Tuesday. And what's really great about that program is they also cover travel benefits. So when you would normally actually have to buy travel insurance, that's covered under the plan. They also offer life insurance, and so that's also an added bonus. So I have reviewed the plan, and it's really very good. Certainly covers, I'm looking at a plan that includes me and my husband. So there's couple pricing, there's single pricing, and certainly what Jenna was talking about with employee, a larger sort of employee group. So one of the reasons why I joined was to look at this benefit program, because I was a member of the local chamber here in Victoria, and the plan that they had didn't work for me because I'm a solopreneur, and I had to have employees. It was one of those things where I felt that the discounts that they offered here weren't working for me. So that was one of the big reasons why I looked at joining, plus the cross country networking opportunity, because I'm finding, even though I'm located here on the West Coast, I'm starting to get more Ontario clients. It's kind of an interesting thing, but so I think in terms of me looking at expanding my business, it was a better way than actually looking within my local environment. So I just wanted to add that in, because I thought that was really important. And a lot of plans and programs really don't cover some of the extra benefits that this health benefits program does. It's pretty amazing.
Thank you, Marilyn, for sharing that. I really appreciate you coming up to share that.
I also wanted to add something, and it kind of follows what Marilyn said. The members that benefit the most from CanWCC, whether it be community or the annual membership, are those who are active, those who show up to the events to get the information, those who participate in the networking, those who are on Circle, creating new connections, and then DMing later on. And those are the ones that come off and come to us and tell us that they are like, this is helping their business, this is working for them. Just want to share that, like, no reason to join if you're not going to be active, right? You're busy people, so make sure that you really, really give it a shot.
Lise is part of our membership department as well. Another contact you can reach out to. Lise, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Jenna. So I am a coordinator here at CanWCC. I support Jenna on mainly all things Circle. Some of the events as well I co-host. So if you have any questions at all, happy to help. If you one day want to host an event yourself, make sure to DM me. And really here just to support you and make sure that you benefit the most from this experience. This CanWCC only works if our members are actually truly enjoying their experience. So even things like feedback are always, like positive or negative, is always welcomed as well. So open door policy here.
Thank you, Lise. Okay, so we're just about at time. So I just want to thank you so much again for giving me an hour of your day and hanging out with me. If you have any questions, reach out to us in Circle. I just really appreciate you all coming here today.